Okie dokie, what's going on here? I know I got a lot of ribbon mics I've got going on here. I am doing some mixing of a local band that I do in the evenings. My mornings have been a good breakfast, some espresso, um, going to get needs at the market, things that I need. Got my Pellegrino going on here. It's a little dark, and I don't know if you watched previous videos, but I buy this old school cherry soda, which is terrible, made with sugar cane. So I'll drink my sparkling water about halfway down, and then I just spike it with some that. I mean, in the old days, it would have been more like getting a bottle of Gastadoras and some squirt, and that probably would have been my combo. But I'm trying to do some good work here. These have come from Portland, Maine. I've got to get both of these done. So my goal today, this may be a long one. So if this is not your thing, man, there's probably a million things out there. You can watch politic reels over and over and over and over again and be satisfied. Yo yo yo. So I have two Coles BBC 4038s. Um, I'm going to check them both. One is really gone and one is semi. I haven't opened these up yet, but I think before these were sent to me, someone had opened them up. So I don't know which one it's doing. So I think if you've seen my last videos, usually in ribbons, when I cut a ribbon, I can get it one and done, which means I measure this mic, I cut the ribbon, a little bit of moving around, and I get it. But with Coles, if you've watched it, there's a certain percentage of failing. So I found myself cutting like about 7 ribbons just in case. And usually I'll break one, and either the second or the third one, I'll get the ribbon in, and I'm happy. And also, because I'm sending this off to other producers, if I do it and I corrugate the ribbon and I put a new ribbon in it and I seal it up and it looks really good, and then I check it and it doesn't sound right to me, which means maybe there's a little bit of distortion, maybe there's I don't know how I know it, but by looking at the ribbon and then checking my own voice, the one I'm talking to you with, when I go low, check 1 2 3, that check, all those things are telltales, and you can tell when the ribbon's really dark or when it's nice or when it's perfect. So I have 2 ribbons now in my little stash of ribbons. I only have 4 ribbons cut. So that means for every one of these mics, if I blow one, I've got to get the next one in. If that doesn't work and I end up going through 3 ribbons, then that leaves me with only 1 ribbon to do this. Now, worst scenario, I will get one of these done. I'm going to make a prediction. I don't want to jinx myself. It'd be great if I can get both of these done right now and you can see the process. Now, I haven't touched them, so you're going to see me fully take this apart and go through it. These are, I'm going to put one down out of the way. Eventually, I'll have both up here again, but I do have a little bit of, not a lot of real estate where I'm working. And also, for whatever reason, live gives you a narrow video you have to work from. If you see my knees come in right here, I'm wearing shorts, just to be clear. People are freaky. Okay, so this is a Coles 4038, probably one of the most sought after and revered ribbon mics of all time. I mean, well, of course, you can have the argument about 44s and 70s. 77s are probably even more so because of Nashville and the country world and people what they think of 77s. But in England and the Beatles, and Jack White sings out of these and plays guitars through these, puts them on his drums. These mics are really, really considered high end. They weigh a ton. They're well overbuilt, I'm sure. They've been around this design. I don't know technically what has changed. Also, there's a dent right here. All right. Looks like this did a no-no. Let me see the other one really quick. Okay, that's not a good sign. That means it fell. Oh, you know what? This one, someone opened up this one because it's already open. Let me start with this one, actually. So this one has a dent in it, which is, if you see the ribbon inside, that's not good. Okay, so this one is open. And also, man, one of the things about Kohl's, this is a son of a bitch, man. To get these, you have to depress these. They're not even like, it doesn't even go that far. But you have to squeeze these in like a clamp to pull out this little adapter. And it's just a son of a bitch. I've already tried already. I bent my nail back trying to get it done. Yeah, these are killer mics. Really interesting design. These are almost nearly impossible to find how they're like the mic clips that hold this with these little loops. And then, like I said, this has already been opened. So I'm going to start with this one. So like I said, I just got these in the mail. And I really appreciate my friend Mark over at in Portland, Maine. He had a buddy of his that he had expressed to him, like, if you need some mics, you got to send it to Manny. And so, you know, for some guy to drop, I mean, technically about $3,000 worth of mics in the mail to some guy he doesn't know, that's crazy, but cool. It really, that's why I only the utmost respect to try to get this done. Hey brother, what's up? Velocity Recording. What's up? Love the production breakdown. So good, man. Oh, thank you. I have a really cool one. I just asked the band for permission if I could show the single I did for them. They said yes. They've got to do a little tweak. One of the guys in the band masters, and I just want to give them the option before even though this is unreleased, I think it would sound killer anyways, not mastered. But he's actually he prides himself on how good he masters. So I just said, hey, give me a mastered version of the stereo mix I did, and then I'm going to do a video. So I'm actually looking forward to that. And that's something that's really cool coming up. So all these microphones, just to let you know, there's no screws on this end, but when I take it off, I'll show you. There's a little hook that hooks in here. And then you have these two screws that hold down the label that says, you know, the patent number and BBC. I don't think it says Kohl's 4038, does it? No. It just gives this patent number, made in England. So I have two. My goal is to redo both of these ribbons right now. So I'm going to try to move fast. All week you've seen me doing Kohl's. And usually it isn't that way. I'm usually doing a bunch of other stuff, some nadies. I have I should say a new friend from England. He's sending me out pretty much a box of some of the craziest, coolest mics to do. So maybe in a few weeks, I'll have a really cool treat with you regarding that. So this comes off, just a screw and a little label, and that is basically holding the grill on this mic. So I'm gonna flip it over, and I haven't looked inside yet. So what will we see? Oh boy. Yeah, that's a little interesting. There's something going on the inside of that right there. So this is the grill that goes on top. The sound will be coming in here. Even though you could say these are figure eights, I don't know of anybody using these the other way. They're always used this way. Yes. And speaking of, you're mentioning about Kohl's subtle brightness and stuff. The MXL upgrade, asking me about the upgrades. Now, this is the truth. The ribbon that I'm putting in this one is 0.6. All ribbon mics of the world, mostly, are 1.8 to 2.5, all the way up to some obscure Russian ones that are like 8 microns, whatever it's called. I forget what it is. Is it microns? Maybe. These are the thinnest. And because these are the thinnest, you can imagine like a feather floating. If I'm talking to you right now into this really thin feather, every word I say, even you've seen me work on these and it's moving around, it's really sensitive to sound pressure. That is the detail that you're getting from this. You're getting the detail, and it's and while looking at it, this weighs 5 pounds. This is probably an inch and a half thick, or maybe it's an inch. Massive heavy magnet. I mean, this is definitely overbuilt, but that's the way they did it. And the engineers that made these microphones, they knew what they were doing. However they designed it, whether this guy or woman, whoever designed this, was musical or not, they had put everything they had into making this mic work. The gap here is 6 millimeters. Or at least if I'll measure it, but I'm pretty positive it's 6 millimeters. They're always like, no, actually, I'm sorry. I think the last one I got was 6.30. So it's over 6 millimeters. These two little wires that you see here are grounding. Actually, I'm going to move this out of the way. I don't have to worry about it too much because it's already I have to get this grill out of there, and that grill is just snug in there. Okay. So asking me the difference between this mic and an MXL mic, the ones I upgrade, that was a question asked by Huddle Studios. Everybody say hello to Huddle. And whatever your name is. Yo, Bugman. Bugman's here. You should check out his band. He's a great producer too. I know, another Coles. I got two. So my goal today is to do 2 Cole microphones. I've only got 4 ribbons cut. I'm not even lying. You should have about 5 cut for each one of these mics, but I'm just gonna see if I can get it. So once I mentioned about that ribbon inside is super thin, and as it's moving, it's super sensitive. When people talk about abusing these, it's totally fucking retarded, because even me, a long time ago, before I even started working on ribbons, it was a no-no. You have to be careful with these, and I didn't really get it. I love Byron 160s, I love 77s, 44s. What's the big deal? How can this be any different? Well, now that I know, and I have to install a 0.6 ribbon, which is like installing air, or if you had gold leaf, the thinnest gold leaf you could find, and making that into that design, which is only done in England, and there's a handful of people in the United States and a handful of people in Europe that do it. Excuse me. I'm not a smoker. I just talk a fucking lot. And I know I'm going to be like fucking 2 hours here. Thank God my wife's already home. These are always educational, even for me. So if you hear me babbling, I'm strictly babbling to myself too. So the difference, I didn't know how these were so sensitive until I got them. And now that I understand them and I hear people putting them on snares and doing bad things with them, I can't tell you on how terrible that is. Now, someone had asked me, why don't I put these ribbons inside some of the mics that I do? Because they'll get ruined as fast as I do them. This is a silk screen, which is protecting, even though you can kind of see through it, it's keeping wind from going directly into those. These holes have a purpose. This is for low end, keeps a lot of the boominess out. And this whole indentation, which focuses the wind once it hits it and the sound to focus in on this area, is exactly where that is. That little curve. So if you can imagine that, and then I remove that, and that little pyramid, there it is right there. And that's the sound being forced in here with air pressure, forced into this area, goes through those holes, keeps a little bit of the boominess out, and what travels to the ribbon is hopefully good sounds. Maybe a terrible drummer, but maybe good sounds. So Jack White sings into these, he blows them out, and ribbon mics are kind of like tires of a car, if you can look at it that way. There's no race car that hits the track on used tires. When people go into studios or Jack White is going to go record, he gets all his Coles redone at AEA. I think, but their turnaround, it used to be a few weeks. I don't know what their turnaround is now. It could be 4 weeks to 8 weeks to two months. I don't know. They have a new owner. They're definitely represented as a Coles dealership where they sell them. They sell all the paraphernalia. I don't know the system of who does these ribbons, if they do them here in the United States and who does them for them, or what's their protocol for doing them. I can only tell you that Kohl's are a fucking son of a bitch to work on, but thank God I love working on ribbon mics. So it's always a challenge. So I'm gonna see if I can get this out. This is kind of glued in with this tape in there, and it's also penciled in. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay, so this, there's a little paper here that came off this that's stuck there. It's kind of glued on. This is to keep this screen not only protecting the ribbon, but keeping it from positive is coming through the transformer to a wire soldered into the back of this unit, which is this top clamp is going to be the positive. The ground or the negative is going to be not only this bracket, but these wires. And these wires are reflective to the same thing underneath it. So you'll see another set of wires running to this, grounding this bracket. So you have positive, negative. This one is engulfed all ground, which includes the magnet. This one is isolated only, even though it looks like it's touching and it's in there, technically this bracket has to be positive and cannot be touching the ground of this magnet. So when they put this screen in, it's going to touch the magnet for sure. I have to make sure that it does not touch this one, because if this grounds out, the mic's not going to work. Oh, but really quick, we were talking about the sounds. This is a $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 mic. A pair could go anywhere from $26, $27, $28 to $3,300 for a pair of these ribbons. The MXLs that I'm telling people to buy are $99 a piece. So you have a $99 mic I'm saying I can make sound good, and then you have a $1,300 mic which sounds good already. When I change these ribbons, I do not claim to make this sound any better or any worse than it was. I have to change these ribbons to the caliber of the installation. This ribbon is shot. I know you may not be able to tell. It's completely distorted. See me talking? Even me, like, I'm back a bit. You see it moving? That's how thin it is. It's distorted all along this thing here. So apparently this has gotten damaged. It's a little bit flattened out, and the design in that ribbon is reflecting this screen. So when they lay these screens in, when they really get abused and this screen is popping up against it, it flattens out the corrugation. You start to get distortion. Like if you have a cello and it goes, it hits like one note, and it just will resonate the fuck out of your mic. That means that the ribbon has gotten damaged. And my buddy that had taken a look at this for his friend could tell when this is the one he opened up, for sure that's damaged. Now, I haven't looked at the other one. So now we're talking about the comparison. So this is a 40. Actually, I think I showed you yesterday. I've got to send these off, but I have 1, 2. This person loves me. And then I got 3. So they sent all 3 of these to me. I upgraded them. I've got to send them to Texas. And if he's listening right now, I promise you tomorrow they'll go out. Today was my wife's day off, and I just had to honor a little bit of driving her to get some of her needs. And now I had to say, babe, I've got some ribbons to do. Understand? Right now she's watching Netflix, and I'm just like, oh man, eating ice cream and watching Netflix sounds so good. But this sounds so good soon. So those mics that I mentioned right here, I've done. In comparison, the body or the head stack isn't that far off the size of this one, except this is 1 inch and the ribbon in this one is like 2 inches, or maybe this is 1.5. I think it's 1 inch, because even though these brackets are larger, it's really only counting what's in there, and that's about 1 inch. I might as well fucking answer my own question. Hold on. 1 inch. And to give you an idea of the whole mic, so we're looking at about 4 inches. That's how strong this magnet is. It's just like screaming at this thing. You know, look at that. It's just, oh shit. All right, anyways, enough of that fun stuff. So this mic is 2 inches. The ribbon gap in this mic is about 5 millimeters to 5.5 millimeters. This is 6 millimeters to 6.30 in the gap. But this is only 1 inch. So you have a 1 inch small ribbon that is wider than this one. This is 2 inches at 5.5 to 5 millimeters, the gap in the ribbon. That being said, what I love about the MXL, like this one, this is all opened up. There's just air coming in all around this. There's air coming in here. It's engulfed. To me, that has a massive amount to do with how when the sound pressure hits it, how it's diverted and dispersed around the ribbon, you get that diffusion of bass and boominess, and it captures only the desirable frequencies. So they figured it out somehow, and this is the design that works good for them. If you look at a 44, it's symbolically the same thing, except you'll have a magnet here. You'll have kind of a little Eiffel Tower in the middle, but it's thinner, it's metal, but symbolically almost the same. But this one has one magnet, and the 44s have two. One here and one here. And even though that seems like, wow, those are massive magnets, honestly, new mics may have a louder output because of neodymium. These are probably Alnico or whatever earth magnets these were back in the day. I'm sure in Manchester, England or something, there's a, iron place that, molting hot lava forming these for them still since the 1930s, since World War I, who knows? But these are super old school in its design. And look they haven't changed one thing about it. So I'm not changing anything about it. I'm definitely not claiming that I can make these sound better than the way they already do, because these sound fucking amazing when they have a good ribbon, which I'm putting in. Now the MXLs that I do are $99 ribbons. The ribbon inside is suffering. It's malnourished. It's not even getting close to the magnets. There's a lot of inconsistencies in little parts in here that I fix as I'm going along to do them. But once I get once I get the ribbon, and like these ones, I cut it high grade the way Royer, Coles, AEA, even Stager, to, you name it, of the best, like Buyers. Buyers are fucking so sick. But they're all different styles. Like I've done all the repairs for Buyers 130s, 230s, 160s, 500s. Amazing microphones, but different style than these ones. I like these for drums and overheads and guitars. You can use the same thing. Like when I went to Albini's, Steve Albini, he's the one that showed me how to record in 1997 or 98. When he did my record, he had two Buyer 160s on the outskirts of the drums. But in his later years, God rest his soul, before he passed away, I would see pictures of him using a pair of Coles in the front of the drums or sometimes behind the drums. They were kind of like overheads, but which were behind facing the drums, or they were in front facing the drummer, but not overhead, but just kind of in front, kind of facing. It was really cool. I haven't had a chance to try that out, but I think that's something good to know. So once again, the difference of the MXLs that I do are very opened up like this. The head basket's big. There's a lot of air to move around it. I think out of all the modern Chinese ribbon mics, next to maybe even Cascades, which are the same thing. People get Cascades and they're like, oh, sick. It's like $300, $350, $400, whatever they get them for. Maybe they get a pair for $500. They still kind of suck. And I mean that in the most loving way. Because they have a Lundell transformer in them, they're basically a loud, bad-sounding mic. Because the ribbons that you will find inside of Cascades are exactly like the ones in the MXL. They're like Chinese. They need work. So if you get a set of fatheads, you should get them redone. I'm not saying do me. There's plenty of people you can contact, wherever you live in the United States. There was someone that you just said, hey, I think these are bad. Can you replace them? Test them before you send them off. have them replace them. I guarantee you, when I do those cascades, I get 2 to 3, maybe 4 dBs more of sound, and the mid range and the upper frequencies and the low end is really tight and nice. The same thing goes with the MXLs. So I have to do 2 of these. So forgive me. I need another drink. Son of a bitch. All right. And if you wanted to buy me a coffee, but Shannon, you can't buy me a coffee. Neither can you, Bugman. Uh, in below the description is a thank you. You can buy me a coffee. It's not a get rich thing. I don't know anybody that's made $1 million selling coffee. But if you want to help me out, pick up some nadies, pick up an MXL. And the way the MXLs work is that you can go online, get my information first, my P.O. box, because Sweetwater sends it free in the United States. So you get my information, introduce yourself to me, we talk, we chat, I give you the information needed. You order the mics from Sweetwater, and these are, I'm expressing only the MXL R144s because there's no nadies there anymore. And I'm not going to recommend you buying a brand new coal for me to have you done it. I only work on these when they're busted. Hold on. Sorry about that. So streaking. So and then once you get them, you get my information, you go to MXL. I recommend getting a pair. They're 99 bucks. If you don't have a lot of money, they do that 3 thing for 3 payments, and you can pay them. Maybe you're a pizza delivery guy and you're like, fuck, that's a lot of money. It is. So send them to me. Each mic that I do was $250. The $250 will cover not only you getting it from Sweetwater and sending it to me for free, but I will return it back to you for free, and I will insure the $100 for the microphone, and I will insure the $250 that you gave me to work on the mic. So if it's damaged or ruined or lost in the mail, you will get your money back. So far, it hasn't happened yet. I've had someone send me mics from themselves, and somehow it gets delivered to another state, and I don't know how that happened, but that wasn't me, and that wasn't directly to my P.O. box, and they did it through Amazon, I think, but I've never had any issues with Reverb or anywhere, anything like that. Back to business. This ribbon is shot, and maybe I'll just try to see if I can get this up at the camera so you can see. I'm looking, that's why things look weird. I don't have my glasses on. Hold on. No wonder my schnizzles and my nizzles are looking weird. Hold on. Alrighty, glasses up. Well, now with my glasses on, well, Nelly, that mic is fucked up. Okay, so at least now I can tell you a little bit more of what I'm saying so I can describe what you're gonna see. I haven't done anything to this mic. You just saw me open it up. Right here along the edge of the magnet, it is completely just dented in. Like, I don't know what happened to this mic, but it's all ruined on one side. The corrugation, which is right here, the lines, that looks good. And then from here is just wasted. And then it looks good again right there. The middle is completely flattened out, and it's flattened out from hitting the screen. So the abuse of the mic was one thing, but definitely a gust of wind had somehow hit this mic. And I'll show you how sensitive this is. Like, I'm going to talk into the ribbon right now. I don't know if you can see it moving, but it's that sensitive where my voice behind the camera, even just talking a little bit, is moving this because it's so thin and it's sensitive. So if you're Jack White and you're going, hey, motherfucker, poo, poo, poo. See what I mean? I'm just fucking around here. Let's just blow on this hard. It's pretty hard to break that way, but it's ruined on its sound. So I do have to remove this before you take off these screws. If you've watched my other ones, and also here's something that's really interesting when I talk about the grounding. This bracket is grounded then to this screen, so this screen is grounded. Well, actually, this is interesting. The magnet looks like it's isolated from this because they're grounding this to this right here. But it's interesting because this is supposed to not be touching the magnet. I'm going to move this away. It's not supposed to be touching the magnet. So yeah, it's really diabolical in its design. Yeah, there's something. They have a little like lip right here, which is holding this. So this is completely isolated from this and isolated from this. And that's how these cables are coming from the ground, like a humbucker pickup, looping around the ground around the sound here. And that's it. So let's get to business. Holy smokes, I can't believe I'm going to do this live. I'm going to try to do two. You saw me do one yesterday, and that one was nerve-wracking. Why do I want to do this again? I don't know. It's fun, actually. And I could be just sitting here by myself and talking shit to myself and being crazy. So instead, I'm talking shit to you all. Now, last time I looked at this, that little piece of tape here has to come off because I don't want to. I'm going to keep it on it. Fuck it. That's all right. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it needs to be there anyway, so it just happens to be on that. Usually, you find them stuck to that. Apparently, that one's stuck to that, so it's okay. This one has this one there. So I'm going to make a note to myself. This is the one on the bottom, which I'm going to put in my little safety container. It's the bottom. And then we're going to flip this over. I'm going to take off... actually, let's just do this on the bottom. Back because I need to flip it over, and even though I'm going to replace the ribbon, no need to just make it more difficult for myself. Now these when you remove, you need to have access to the back because there's two bolts there. I'll show you. Do never do this one. Right when I first started, I just oh yeah, I know that makes sense. That looks like something that has that's a ground wire, so it's a son of a bitch to put back. Don't do it. Don't do it. So we're going to do these 4 screws. And I will say these are super important, not only because they help you adjust the microphone, but in the design of these coals, you can't tell, but these brackets that are glued onto the back of the magnet. So you'll see, like, there's no messing around here. 1, you don't want to lose any of these screws. 2, when I reinstall this back again, I have to do it so it fits like it came out of the factory. Because if I don't, and I start to tighten those brackets, these will just pop off the back of the magnet. And even though I can glue them on, I had one that had fallen. Someone had given it to me, and you couldn't really tell that that had happened until I started to remove these because they're kind of clamped in. It's really tight. One of them came off, and I was like, holy smokes. I looked at it, and I was like, wow, I did not know that because it looks like it's welded on. But why wouldn't they just put a screw there and just drill it in? I don't know. Like, if it was me and I need to redesign this, I'm going to make those motherfuckers permanently in there. That's what I say. Also, this is not for children. You heard all my F-bombs. I can't do anything about it, man. I really, really can't. And I'm not doing it to be tough because, like, I'm almost 60. So I got nothing to prove. What am I going to do? You're going to fight me? If you fight me, though, I am versed in martial arts. But the difference was, I'm not MMA. Even though I love watching that, and I know all the moves. And I have a lot of friends that do jiu-jitsu. Right now in my life, I don't feel like having my face in someone's balls. I'm just saying. I'm pointing it out. I'm not that excited to do that. And hopefully I won't be grappling. And you know, if you watch someone this is like some knowledge. Any guy that's a good fighter, a really badass, the first thing they say you should do is fucking run. You know, you have a road rage incident, don't jump out of your fucking car. You get run over, they pull out a gun, they shoot you, the guy has a bat, they stab you with a samurai sword, something happens, don't get out of your fucking car, don't do a road rage. And even the best fighters just say avoid taking damage. Because even guys that, they have a whole theory on when you're fighting. Of course, they say it is good to know some self-defense. Okay, I'm in agreement that if you get taken to the ground in jiu-jitsu, real quick. Hold on a second. This is really tight there. There it goes. So that's one of the little, these feel plastic. I think a long time ago, these were probably metal. And they just replaced it. And this is just plastic now. But here's the ticket. This is a motherfucker. It's grinded flat. So when I take this off and I go to put it back, if I'm on the wrong side and this little round hump is there, it's not going to sit flush. So once again, remember this shit as you take it apart if you're going to do one. And I will say, whatever you do, if you've never worked on a ribbon, do not start with the Coles as being your first mic. You're going to check it out. It's fucking expensive. The ribbons are way too thin. And even for me, been doing this for about 4 or 5 years, it's still a fucking challenge to do that. Once again, plastic. This little plastic thing. This had to have been made out of metal a long time ago. So I'm actually going to keep these on the side that they came in my mind. So now this is important, like I said. So I'm going to remove this. This thing is like stuck in there. Hold on. It's like really, really tight. I don't want to pull on it too much because... Right, well, fuck it. Glued on. All right, hold on a second. Don't give up on me yet. That's what it is. Okay. The paint is pretty much stuck. Okay, so these are what I'm talking about. There is a flat point and a round point. Flat here, then round. When I put them back in, I've got to put those flat back to the bottom. So when I lay it in like this, it's properly set in there. These are the 2 wires that are running from the transformer. There's 3. Maybe that's the ground loop. And then you have a ground right there. That's the one I said don't take off because it's a fucking motherfucker. So there you go. Now we're on the back side of the Coles. Now, isn't she pretty? Come on now. Whew, holy moly. So these are those little brackets that are glued on. They're not welded. They're glued. Why didn't they just put a hole through that and drill that motherfucker in there? I have no fucking idea. Why aren't the back sides of these not plastic and metal so they can last? I'm not assuming the worst, but Coles makes every single part in this mic. I think you can buy them online. Somewhere down the road, people are breaking those. Repair guys probably see these broken. These come off. Definitely, if you open up the other side of the mic and you try to remove those 2 screws without these 2 bolts first, this metal is so soft, you're going to ruin not only maybe the bracket, but bend the bolts or break the bolts. And then you'll have to order new ones. So most repair guys probably have a stash of them. You could see the grounding coming around here. And then these screws are holding in this plate. Anyways, we can go on forever about this mic. I do like this mic, though. Okay, what are we doing now? I'm moving fucking slow. I'm like 40 minutes into this, and I've not fucking taken it. Shannon, what's up? I got 2 Coles I'm doing today, Shannon. So, dude, if you got things to do in your life, I won't be insulted if you do them, because this is going to be a motherfucker today. Okay, so once again, I have a socket, but I'm going to use my hand. This is so soft, you do not use the full schnizzle manizzle. See, that just turned really easy because it's just holding the screw on the other side. And like I said, I think that may be for grounding. I can't imagine why you would need to put a bolt on the other side of that screw when it's already threaded. Then my other theory is maybe after time, that's a little bolt. Maybe after time, the way this is made, maybe it comes loose by movement. I don't know. I just think it's a little bit overkill, but then my only question is, maybe that's the way when you put this screw through it that it gets grounded out to this. I don't know. I'm making shit up. I'm making shit up to make myself sound like I'm smart and I understand this mic. I'm kind of like the dog whisperer for ribbons. Like I look at it and I go, yeah, I can make you better. How did I know that? I don't know. I've never worked on microphones in my life up until about 4 or 5 years ago. I've been being a music producer and being in a band since the early 90s. I started producing after Steve Albini showed me how to record in 97, 98. And ever since then, I've been recording, not giving one fuck about how mics worked, except I like ribbons. Now that I like ribbons, I have a newfound respect for Coles. When initially I was just like, stop being a pussy, put that up on a Marshall. Now I'm like, fuck no. Don't put that on a Marshall, man. Don't do it. Unless you know Manny and you live in LA, then you can bring the mic to me every fucking month to replace the ribbon. So we're going to take off this screen. Once again, I think this is in the way. Hold that thought. Too. So I'll make a mental note when I put it back. I'll maybe bend those back. Oh, come on, motherfucker. All right. So this one has one there. Doesn't have one there. That means this one is glued there. So maybe, because I had one recently that are both glued to this. So this one will be the backside. And I'll put that there. Make a mental note. Bottom and then the top is right there. On the other side, I had the same tape that was stuck to, that one is stuck to the actual block that holds down the ribbon. This one is actually just stuck to the bottom. This is not going to be coming out where these screws are. But that is a good mental note. I'm not going to fuck with it. It's still sticky. So now that we're looking on this, you can see the back side of the ribbon. So like I mentioned, on the opposite side, you would have saw the right side. So this is the left. So this is beneath it. And it looks the same. It's just a reflection of what was on top. But it really is obvious right there that that's where the damage was. And it's not supposed to look like that. Whew. What's up? One more drink. I have a few bottles in there, so don't worry. I'm not going to run out on you. Yeah, I'm not good. Okay. See, even me putting that down, look at that. I'm hitting the table and it's working. No, I think he's a pretty big producer. He just said that one day it just, a lot of people go into studios and people will grab these and he doesn't know if anyone misused this, dropped it, did something. That is interesting, the way the damage is only on one side. Somehow a puff of air didn't hit it straight on, but it hit it in like maybe this area, and that completely distorted that. All right, so now that we've done that, I had to remove those bolts to remove these two bolts. Now I can talk about taking the ribbon apart, because you can't take the ribbon apart from the bottom. Get this back on it. Hold on. Hold it now. Always happens. The cables are just like, fuck you, we're gonna go the way we want to go, Manny. Screw you and all your YouTube friends. All right, there you go. So then, like always, I put my little box of razor blades under here. Stick violently to the bottom of this magnet. So let me remove the top. Okay. Just get this a little more stabilized, sorry. It is important that I have this kind of semi-flat, because when I put the alcohol in it, I want the alcohol to run down. Now, some guy had mentioned, I posted a video on a vintage mic platform. And as some guy watched me install the ribbon, he's like, oh, you have to make this apparatus that holds the ribbon in the tension, and somehow you drop it in. I'm not sure. I'm going to look at it again on what he was talking about. The only issue I have about making anything that you could put the ribbon on and then drop it into this mic, maybe if there was a jig at the factory that had these, that you could almost drop a jig on top of this, and on that jig was something that already had the ribbon tension, and when you drop it in, you're able to then put on these brackets. The only way I think you could do that is if it wasn't in the magnet and it was somehow in just this transducer, and then you drop this transducer in. But I don't know how you would do that. So it was an interesting thing that he said. And plus it's so, I mean, I don't even know how you would get that thin of a ribbon on like a bracket to lower it in. Now I will say, I did one of the oldest Telefunken mics in the world, and that had something like that. It was like a pole that the ribbon was on, and it was almost like a butt, and I pulled the ribbon through the butt, and then when I did the ribbon, I had to put it back through the butt, and it was deep in the mic. So yeah, maybe those freaky English people, that's the way they did this, or maybe that's the way they install it. I don't know yet if there's any alternatives to doing it by hand, but that's the only way I know how to do it. I like it, and they sound great, so we'll just see. I'll let you know, and I'm going to look into what that guy said about an easier way to do it. I don't know what that is. I don't really understand that, but I don't want to be closed-minded, because this is something where I've only learned through experience, and I definitely am not going to claim that I know it all. I just know some. And guess what? Daddy's almost 60, so he knows a little bit more than some people. And then maybe some ways I don't. All right, so we're going to remove the brackets now. I'm so sorry. It's already like approaching 1 fucking hour, and I haven't even fucking got ready with my ribbon. M. Johnson, Manny, where can I send you some photos? I want to get some feedback on a ribbon motor I made. In my description is my email, and also all my social media. You're welcome to send some pictures in there of your ribbon mic to check out. Okay, so this is the back side. We just want to keep these. These are small, so it would be easy, but I don't want those to be confused with those ones. You can send them to that regarding your motors. And good luck with that. That's exciting. That's exactly what I was doing, and you have to... I built my first prototype mic. It was fucking sick, but what I didn't know at the time is it sounded really great at low volume, because I had a double ribbon in it, like a Bayer 160. It sounded, if you look at my first video I ever did here, that's my prototype ribbon. It sounded insane. But what I realized my shortcoming was in design. I didn't really know how to make a mic, so didn't really know about sound pressures, how it works around the ribbon. How would the mic body handle live sound pressure, allow sound pressure around it? All these things, that came off, and so did the ribbon. All those things matter, and which I grow a new respect for ribbon mic companies, especially the ones that want you to put it on loud sound sources. So you just saw the ribbon fall in there. We'll have a good look at this ribbon once So now that I've removed the bolts from the back, these are the really long ones. You can remove these. A big no-no is trying to remove these first before you undo those bolts. Thanks, M. Johnson. Send those to me, man. I'll give you an opinion about that. Take it with a grain of salt, because what does Manny know? Manny knows how to cook a good Wagyu steak. I know how to make lobster pretty good. I know how to make a good salmon. And I just made some fresh hamburgers for my wife. I went to the butcher shop. I got some meat. I know this is a little bit Mexican, but I got the beef, which was 20% fat, 80% lean. And then when I got a pound, I broke it up into halves, and then I broke those halves into 4 small sliders. I made some, before I made them into sliders, I added garlic, paprika, cumin, salt, a lot of pepper, onion powder, and then a half of a lemon. If you don't know what lemon is, like, it's like carne asada. It makes meat sound. If you use lemon, lime, and oranges, that's carne asada. That's the main ingredients why carne asada tastes so good. So in my burger, I just said, fuck it. I put a little lemon in there, and it just gave it that little snap of that fresh taste. It's almost like Thai. If you get a chicken noodle soup and you squeeze some lime in it, oh my God, it just tastes like Thai soup. So anyways, so yeah, I made a burger today. And then I cook it on an iron skillet. So this is the clamp. So that one, let me see here. Oh, yeah, that one has the tape kind of came. I'm going to put a little bit extra tape on that. So that's going to be the bottom. I'm going to put that right there. So, let's see here. So then my burger sliders, I'm going to be able to get that through there. Hold on. There it goes. So my burger sliders, I had these little Hawaiian breads, if you ever seen those at the store. And on an iron skillet, okay, I'll put that down there. On an iron skillet, I heat it up. And if you don't know how to use an iron skillet, there is a way. And this is how you cook a really good steak, and people are going to freak out. But before I do that, let me show you this ribbon. This is Cole's ribbon. Funny right here. Let's see if we can do it. Watch. 1,000. Go, come on. You can pop up there. Oh, shit. Too fast. 1,001. It's just fucking, it's like fucking air. 1,001, 1,002. Depending on how you drop it. Yeah, this is like nothing. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this one. Usually I don't keep the shit. I throw it in the trash. This one's pretty good. So, I have a little area I usually keep them, but it's over here. I don't think this is going to last right there, but if it does, it's fate. If you still let me get you and put you away and you're back there, you're a keeper. Okie dokie. So when you're cooking a burger or a steak and you have an iron skillet, heat it up. Now you can coat it with a little bit of oil and then with the paper towel wipe it off, but heat it up. Put your hand over it. When it feels really hot, get a little bit of water and throw it on it. If it hits the iron skillet and you see the water dance around, little bubbles, that means it's heated up and there's a gas that builds up over the skillet, which will separate your food from sticking. Once it gets to that point, you can cook a fried egg on it. It's not going to stick. So once again, you heat it up, you throw a little water. When the water runs around like in little balls everywhere, that's when I laid the steak on it. And then when you first put your steak in or the hamburger, it's going to stick. Don't touch it until after, when it builds up a crust and it gets that really nice, good crust to it, it will separate from the skillet, and then you could flip it. On all the burger joints, that's exactly what happens. And then also, when I made the burger, I think it was parchment paper, that kind of wax paper. So I after I put all the ingredients in it, put salt, kosher salt, garlic, paprika, a little bit of lemon, and then I put it in parchment paper and I crushed it on a cutting board. So then I made it like a smash burger, really flat. So now it has two parchment papers crushing it, so it's not sticking, it's not on my hands. When I got the grill hot enough with no oil, I just put a dab of olive oil, just a little bit, and then I did one side of the parchment paper, dropped the smash burger on it, took it off. Now it's cooking on there. Dynamite. We'll talk about that some other time. I'm already fucking an hour into this and I haven't even put the ribbon in. Okay, so let's move. Let's move, motherfuckers. Sorry I talk like that. If there's someone out there that's very religious and doesn't condone this kind of language, I'm sorry. And I'll do my best for the rest of this to not say motherfucker. But if the ribbon breaks, I can't promise you that I'm not going to go, holy fuck, motherfucker, And if the ribbon is installed and I have success, I cannot say that I'm not going to say, holy shit, motherfucker. What the fuck, Batman? We did it. So, yeah, that's kind of the almost the same in celebration and in failure. Okay, this is where it gets serious. I'm going to put a ribbon in this. It's almost like I have to psych myself out to do this, man. All right, I'm using 99% alcohol. I have to use a brand new Q-tip because yesterday when I was doing one, I didn't realize it. I usually change them every time I do it, but I had grabbed one that I thought was a little bit new and it was a little bit haggard. And when I went to adjust the ribbon popped up and stuck to it like a cotton ball, like, you know, just totally almost ruined my day. It didn't fuck up the ribbon, but it was a moment where I said those things that you just heard me say, and I meant them. And I got through it. So, okay, one more drink, and then here comes the ribbons. When I do these and I play them back, I don't know if there's like noise reduction in the phone or something, but there's a weird kind of ticking or sound. That could actually be my fluorescent light that's above this. So sometimes when I stop talking, you can hear this like tick, 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 or weird white noise. That's that. Okay, so I have my little stash. That is 0.6 ribbon right there. And just to tell you how now this is valuable to me, it costs a lot. It's damaged right there. And right there. I was so careful to put that in there. And so even like I know I don't bring these out until I'm really about to do it, because even just looking at these, you just go, holy shit, I just fucking ruined this. So let me grab a ribbon right here. I'm gonna get that one. Oh, that's good. I have a weird superstitious way of finding out if I like that ribbon and which way it goes in. I don't know. I just look at it and go, you are going to go in wrong and you're going to break, and then it breaks. I'm like, I knew it. Don't listen to your inner voice and flip that motherfucker around. Okay, so I'm going to be a little bit right here. Give me a second because I have to, this is where it all goes wrong. Even removing it from the paper is a son of a bitch. And I have to somehow tweak it a little bit. It's taken me a long time, man. You know, honestly, I attempted to do a Kohl's a long time ago. And I was like, what's the big deal? And I put in a different gauge of, I think I put in a 1.8. Sounded fucking great. But only recently that I've really listened to befores and afters, and I've grown to appreciate what Kohl's are about. I think it's important they get replaced with the same thickness, because I think it's one of the few microphones that sound of that thin ribbon and that massive overbuilt construction, it just seems to work. So that's why, and so yeah, so I early on was kind of like a little bit, you know, fuck that, I'll do what I want, da 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 da. But it's the only microphone of all the ribbon mics that I think can't really change that sound. Like, that's the sound, you want that sound. You spend a lot of money on it. Royers, like I've done Royers that are blown. My ribbon corrugation is a lot like a Royers. And I honestly, I make them sound good and maybe a little bit better. All ribbons that I do, I make sound a little bit better than when they came in. Even N22s and N8s and R84s, all those I do. I even have a new thing that I do to the brand new KU5s, which are AEAs. I don't want to say too much because I love the owner and I really love the company. But I found that when an artist came to me with the KU5 and says, listen, I hate this mic. I'm going to sell it. And he knows I do ribbons. He says, can you do anything for this? I said, I don't know. I have no idea, except it looks like a BK5. So when I opened it up, definitely wasn't a BK5 inside. But I saw some things in there that I thought, I think, whoa, you just saw that? The thing just fucking, oh, fucking shit. Hold on. Hold it now. Hold it now. Oh, man, I don't want to do that either. Ah, you son of a bitch. That's what I mean. This is a nightmare. Holy shit. Oh, there it goes. So I got it, and I redid it. I built it in a way, I rebuilt the whole top part of the mic the way I thought it would work, and it sounded fucking incredible. So I don't offer too much. I don't recommend, those mics are really expensive. They're like $1,200. But if you happen to have a KU5, which is that, and you think it's too bassy or boomy or doesn't really meet your needs, I definitely can make it sound closer to a BK5, and I've already done that for a few people. But I don't offer it too much because I do like AEA. And I think when I mention that, it sounds like I'm saying there was something wrong with that mic, which there isn't. I've done with them. They're great. But if you want to use it for guitars and you want to get a tighter sound, it's almost nearly impossible to do that. It's too bassy. It's too heavy. So yeah, that's my little thing on what I'm doing here. I think I'm babbling away. So now we're serious now. With that ribbon right there, you can barely see the end of it right there. Don't talk. Alex. Thank you, Alex. And if you are thinking about doing ribbon mics, do not start with the Coles. I'm not saying it like I'm a badass. I'm saying it's fucking scary. It's taken me a long time. So that was my thoughts on this. So initially when I started doing these ribbons and I was going to make my own ribbon mic company, I thought I was a badass. And then I realized, how can you be a badass if you can't even fucking re-ribbon one of the hardest ribbon mics to do it? Because I was doing 160s, which are still fucking incredibly hard to do, and I make them sound killer. I make them sound even better than stock ones because I cut my own ribbons, custom ribbons for those. So I thought I was killer. But these scared me to death. I heard about the 0.6. I bought a sheet of 0.6 and I destroyed it by looking at it. And I was like, oh my fucking God, man. How the fuck are you going to change ribbons if you can't even hold the ribbon? So it just took me a long time. I had to practice for about 6 months, learning how to handle it. Took me a little bit, man. And with a little help, I've had some friends that are the dudes that do this who gave me some nice pointers. But I asked them recently, hold on, we're serious now. Fuck. I removed it because, holy fucking shit. Luckily enough, I mentioned I always have a little extra slack. The alcohol dried up too quick. I needed to get locked in on this side. I need to get it locked in on the rear. So if I lay it in here, I gotta lay it down and it snaps in right there. And what happened was this dried up. And then when I laid that in, I had nothing gripping there and the ribbon fell freely into there, which is a no-no. The ribbon made it, But I need to know, make sure they don't fuck up my shit. I gotta put enough alcohol. Rinse and fucking repeat. Ew. Son of a bitch. Holy cows, man. Holy smokes. Let's let that alcohol dry a second. Let me see if I can answer them questions. Jesus, man. All right, let's see here. Shannon, what's up? I got you. Johnson, send me those photos. Alex, thank you. I appreciate you checking it out. Luke, is that Luke from Hawaii? Or is that Luke from somewhere else? Is that Honolulu motherfucking Luke? Oh my God, man. Okay, so you just saw me put that in. I'm not done yet. I need to now put the brackets in. I need to install it from the back. And there is a point when after I've done check this, I still may go back in and retension it if there's a problem. But for right now, I'm happy with that. And compared to the way it looked before I did it, it's 0.6 thickness. I'll check its, when I check this, I'll check it through my Neves or my Wally Hider APIs into my ATCs. I will double check it. But let me get the brackets on. And if I can lock those in, I'll go and do the other mic before we get out of here. I'll try to do that. I can just say that's rewarding, but I'm still in fear of something happening. So I'm not out of the woods yet. Give me 1 second. You see me. I'm almost like, I can't count your chickens before they hatch. Even me talking around this mic is not cool. Okay, so one had one side. Okay, that'd be this side. That's right. My finger just got in there tension-wise. Hold on. I don't like that, but we'll see. These are the short screws that go back. Important. The long screws are in here, which we have to put that block back. I really do this because I love it. And instead of me hanging out my studio with no one here, I'm hanging out with all you. You can watch me in my success and my failures. When I started to learn how to do ribbon mics, no one ever fucking did this kind of shit. So I think I can proudly say I'm probably one of, unless someone did it in the last week or so, I'm the only guy that's ever done Buyer 160s live or videos. And I'm the only guy for sure that's done Coles. But I do believe there's a lot of cats that know how to do them. I just think they're all like secretive about it. Or maybe they just don't have time. I'm not a repair guy. So I think the guys that are really busy all the time, they just don't have time to fuck around. They're doing shit. They check the post office. They got 12 fucking ribbon mics to do. They don't have any time to do this. I'm a producer, I'm a mixer, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm making my own mic. I do this for fun. But if you know me, okay, this is not going in. Hold on. Okay, I don't like that fucking shit. You have to know me or see these videos to be able to have me work on mics for you. Let me move this up a little bit. I don't like that. I think it's too much forward. Son of a bitch. There's those scary moments where I'm just like, really? Of all the times you put these screws in and they go right in, you're not gonna go in today? Luke's fucking watching me. Shannon, Bugman. I'm gonna put the other one in. Because when I lock the other one in, I'll have an easier time, less stressful trying to make that fucking work. When I do these videos, like I mentioned, it's like working on your car from the trunk. I'm usually where the camera is, so I can really look right down on it, but I'm getting used to it. It's all about the quality anyway, so when I test these, anything falls short of what I think is excellent, I'll just redo it again. It's not a big deal. But I think this is educational for some people. You can see what I do. It's not all black magic or I'm some dude that has these special powers. It's taken a lot of time and a lot of skill to work on these mics. And I could proudly say I've worked on almost every ribbon mic on earth. And these ones are the hardest ones. Some repair guys aren't going to fuck with these. So these mics and Bayer mics are just a fucking nightmare. But I will say also some of the RCAs that you have to like solder on the fucking ribbon. And I had some juniors that were that. I was like, what? And like, I had to solder that shit. I was just like, oh my God, getting a solder gun near this, I'm already having a tough time with the screwdriver. That's another set. Those guys that restore RCAs and they have all the tools and all the stuff, that's another kind of thing. If you have a 77 that's fucked up and you blew it, I can fix it. And I'll make it sound as good as it ever did. But if you ripped out the transformer and you want to know which one, and that's another thing I think people make a mistake. When you get an old mic like 77, to put a Lundell or a Cinemag in it, it's going to sound different. And like the purity of these coals being pure and sounding, I think there's a reason the transformer and the thickness of a ribbon have a lot to do with the sound. Same with the RCAs. Okay. Holy fucking cows. Holy smoke. Let me do the bottom now. But I do need to reset the tension, sadly. As much as I got out of the woods on this one, I need to get in there and tighten that because it came a little loose. All right, hold on. I have to lean it down because I don't want the alcohol to drip into the transducer. That's not it. Son of a bitch. Yes. You just gotta make sure you put it in the middle. Jesus. Okay. Oh, no, it's crooked. Oh, man. You have to do it. I take a chance of ripping it every time, but I can't let it go out crooked. Um, a bit stressed. The long bolts. You didn't put my oh fuck! I didn't put my schnizzles and my nizzles under this. Like I said, I do this because I love it, and because I have a lot of confidence because I'm a producer and I have gear. That little bit of like, there's guys that do this that have like Mackie speakers and shit, and they got a little Mackie board, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll fix your ribbon." How do you fucking know what it sounds like, man? If you can't even put it through some good audio, you gotta spend the money on a good listening reference area. If you're gonna do ribbon mics, you need that because I need to know the low end. Is any of it distorting? I'll run through different frequencies and just make sure that it doesn't distort. And you need to have good gear to do that. You know, you have to spend some money. You don't have to get ATCs. I have ATCs. You can get Ocean Ways. I have NS10s. NS10s work just fine for doing that, but the low end is maybe going to get you a little bit of trouble. So I have ATCs. I'm still tripping balls here. Now to protect this side, I'm tripping. Screws. They got to go all the way through the transducer, and then even though I've got this ribbon clamped down on the front, I need to then go around to the rear and put the bolts on the back of these. Even though these are holding down super thin ribbon, it's just overbuilt, and that's what it is. I don't know why they have to be those bolts reinforced these. I don't know if they figured out that after years these come unloose because it's at the least resistant part of the mic where it's the thinnest. Okay, that just came off. Hold on. I have to make sure they're both tight before I pull that little part to snag it. Tight. It's that scary. I have to put my finger to protect myself from stabbing the ribbon accidentally. I've done it. I've done it before. Okay, holy smokes. Live on the spot, unedited. I'm ready to fail in front of everyone. Fuck it, right? Life short. Now I could fail right now. When I remove this little piece here, it could ruin the whole ribbon if I made an error in clamping that, which could happen. I'm just putting it out there. But I don't want that to happen. Let's see here. Thank you, ribbon guys. Holy smokes. So this is just a little piece of the ribbon. Doing that, it's just like, what? You turned into pixie dust. Yeah, it's stuck to my hand that fast. So that's what you're putting on your snare drum? Well, Jack White had like, the only reason I can tell you that story is that I was at AEA the day that all his mics arrived. And I was like, what are these? And they said, oh, it's Jack White's KU3. And it was like a bunch of Coles. And he just does a record in like a car, changing his tires. He sends all those Coles in to get them done while he's on tour. When he comes back to do the next record, he's got a bunch of Coles that are fresh. There's nothing like a fresh ribbon in a mic. I don't care what anybody says. People talk shit about BK5s. They're one of the greatest RCA ribbon mics, but they sound terrible with their fucked up, used old 60-year-old ribbons inside. You put a new ribbon in a BK5, and I'm not even lying, you're gonna get laid. I don't even know why I said that. It's stupid. If you like Mexicans go stupid, yeah, that was stupid. Yeah, you're gonna get lucky. I should have said. You're gonna be out. She's gonna be like, did you put some new ribbons in your BK5? I sure did, baby. She's like, let's go home. I'm just saying. Now, I can say that because I looked at my statistics of my YouTube, and it says that no women watch this, which is, it's okay. But I do think women have the best ears in engineering. So I hope there's more women that get interested in engineering and can tell people that say stupid jokes like me to shut the fuck up. Okay, now we're gonna put the holy cows screen back on. So we have a screen here that is gonna be right there, and then we have one there. So this one is covered, and this one has we got a little cover there. So I'm gonna install this back in so it protects it. Scary. Motherfucking scary. Motherfucking scary. Don't fuck up the ribbon. Don't stab it with your pointy tweezers. Get it under the fucking ground wires. I'm talking to my fucking microphone. Hold on now. It's like last time they had bent these down into them. Oh fuck, come on, don't do that to me now. Holy cow, Batman. There you go. Now that's only the front side. Let's flip it over, rinse and repeat. You know, they had to put some fucking bolts on the other side. So let me put the top back on it to protect at least what I did there. I need to go back and do the bolt. I'm not locking this in yet. Hold it now. Oh shit, you just saw it happen right there. Holy smokes. Hello, that fast. Broke off. Tells you it just glued a little bit there. I mean, that's fucking dry anyways. So, yeah, our first, what I didn't want to have happen, happened. It's not magnetized. I think this is like aluminum, which is weird. It's like aluminum stuck to iron. There you go. The little bracket came off. I have to put that on and glue that before I get going. Son of a bitch. All right. So, what are we doing, huh? Okay, I need to put. Okay, so I have a tape there. And I don't have a tape here. So that's going to go there. And then the one with the tape is going to go there. I'm going to put this on before I work on it, because if I drop the bolts, they will be protected. And that kind of goes over it a little bit. Hold on. We're going to put the bolts on. Because I have that protecting it, I'm not as fearful as these are magnetized and they fly into the middle, and it's a fucking nightmare when that happens. So having the screen there is a good thing. And remember, the tension of re-putting these back on, not that tight. We're at 88 minutes. Does anybody know how to count? How long is that? Look at my brain, is so dead. What was that, like 1 hour and 20 minutes? Jesus. But you know, like when things like that happen, you know, it was because this has already been taken apart before I got it or whatever, and I don't know how technically how old this is. That's just gonna happen. You know, you have to be prepared for it. I already mentioned that because it does happen. And a lot of times you said, that's not a lot of glue that's holding that together. I mean, it's like one little dab there, one little dab there, whatever glue that is that they use, and that's going to hold down a 5-pound weight. So I'm tightening these by hand, not with a ratchet. And then once I've tightened these, I've got to go around to the other side and make sure that when I tighten these one and twisting them, it doesn't loosen the other side. So I need to take it out of this Not too much fear of stabbing the ribbon, but I do have to get this sorted. I just have to make sure that fly out. Yep, rock solid. Let's do the bottom. Well, that's tight. The bracket, I'm going to put this loosely back into this to protect it. Now I have to do the that little bracket that came undone. This is going to be a little bit tricky, so we're going to use some super glue. And that's it. You heard me. You heard me right. But, and if it doesn't set the first time I do it, I can do it again. Actually, before we even do that, hold on. I have nail polish remover. I'm going to remove that little bit of residue of that previous glue. I think it should have a clean surface, so then that glue will work even better. So I'm going to get this one and clean out the glue if it even does it. Yeah. Let me do some more. Clean, so when I put it back on, at least have a fighting chance of nothing there that could stop it from sticking. That is already wasted already. Let me get a new Q-tip. Holy smokes. Hey everyone, whoever's sticking around, thank you guys. I think we're down to 8 people. That definitely scares everybody away. They don't even know what I'm making here. I know I've been on a run of doing a bunch of mics. I happen to just have a lot of mics. And it is for me in good practice. And because I take this very serious, I want to shit. Matt. So that's what's coming off. I gotta get a little bit more. Paint, obviously, but I am removing whatever little funkiness was there. So there it goes. That's cleaned up. Now I need to kind of lay this in to get an idea of how this looked. It's not magnetized, so just make sure I'm just kind of practicing like, okay, how's that look? That looks about right. Now once I put this in, I've got to pretty fast kind of set it in here to make sure that it works. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory where this is going to sit. But it is important as I tighten this down not to have it break again. When I took this off the first time, I didn't really check it if it was really loose, but obviously I haven't bumped it, or it was barely hanging on for dear life anyway, so. I said it was. I think those little holes maybe have something to do with it as a reservoir, maybe. Let's get this back on this to make sure that that's right. Make sure it's good. Then kind of lock this in and make sure we're okay here. He's gonna be flat. Hold it like this for a second, because I want that to set in. This fits good. It's totally snug. This is snug. I'm just gonna keep it like this for a bit. And that's how, not the world's over, but that's how it's made. This is plastic. The covers are plastic. They've glued this onto the transducer. The glue looked like it was dried up. It wasn't even, it was, I don't even know, like it must be holding on just with, you know, it's the last bit of whatever. But if you have this mic up on the stand and you happen to move it really fast, even if that was to come loose, it still may retain being locked in because of this one, and you may not even be able to tell. What's up, the absurdist? Yes, back for another love. I know, right? So we're live. Now, I was planning on doing 2. Consensus. Should I do another one, guys? I did have another mic. I have to do it. I can do it with the camera off. What do you think? Anybody want to pipe in? I know it's been a long time. I mean, this is what I'm doing. I'm actually repairing these mics for a producer from Maine. I promised them they were going to kick ass. My goal before I go home is 6:30 was to do 2. What do you think? Should we crack it out? Anybody? I am up to it because I've got still a little bit of Pellegrinos. And even though I hate to mention it, but I am a coffee whore and a Pellegrino and Topo Chico whore. If you look at the description, there's a little thank you. You can buy me a cup of coffee. Hello. Okay, let's do this. I'm hoping the other one won't have that many problems. If the other one I have any problems, I may end it because I do care about the quality. And so far, I have no fucking complaints. Like, I'm stoked on the way this mic came out. And I want to make sure that I do that. So that bracket looks good there. I'm going to put that one in next. Let me just do that one while we're here. Screw in there. This is the one that was broken, that I've re-glued it again. Hopefully, because I cleaned it, it'll last for a little bit. This person won't have any problems with it. Like I said, this mic was already taken apart once. And easily, if he tweaked it, twerked it, that's going to be a problem. That's the first thing that's going to go. So I've seen it happen every now and then. Like I said, they're just plastic. And that looks like it's a little bit of aluminum on that. Now I'm going to do this one slow because I want to make sure that I'm pushing down and that on both sides is even. So not too tight, just kind of put it in there. Let's get them all going. The magnets are just screaming the screwdriver out of my hand. That's crazy. Okay, a little bit tighter. Little by little, not too tight. We just want to make sure it's good. Feels good. I'm pushing down too, because as I'm tightening these, it's pulling it up into this clamp, and I still want it tight into the microphone because it just, like I said, just repaired that. Oh, both screws just flew off. Hello. Okay. Don't do this in front of me, guys. I have people watching. All 8 of you. And I'm sweating. Because I had to turn off all my air and everything here. It's not like I'm just like, guys, I'm suffering for you all. No, because you guys are buying me fucking coffees and Pellegrinos, man. I'm thirsty. Come on, someone. All right, here we go. This one I can be a little bit. This one, since it wasn't broken, I'll start to tighten this one a little bit more than the other one, and then I'll go back to the other one and just make sure that it's snug. I want to do both sides even. I don't want this to pull up on one side more than the other. It's kind of like doing a snare head, you know? You just don't crank one side, you just got to crank both. So I'll get this one kind of tight, kind of snug, and then I'm going to go to the other side and do that one. Break, please. We still have a lot of work ahead of you. So now I need to finally put the faceplate back on, but I just want to double check. I got no more parts in here except for the BBC little badge, and I got 2 screws, so everything's back in. I got the screens, I got 4 screws. I have the bolts on the back of the screws. I just repaired the back. This looks really good. Now we're gonna put this part on, and honestly, even though this is the end of it, I swear to God, man, getting these holes to line up sometime are son of a bitch. So as I'm home free, the last thing I have to do, this becomes like an ordeal. So there's a little hook right there. I need to get that hook into that hole, and that's going to be a good, that's going to be rock solid. I also have to make sure I just don't ruin what I just did over here. Hold on. When this came to me, it wasn't ever set in the right. I don't know what that is. There it goes. Son of a bitch. I don't want, this is what I just glued. It weighs like 3 pounds. Don't break on me in front of everyone. All right, let's put this badge on. Lined it pretty good, so we'll see. One in there. What is that? Thank you for everyone sticking around. Out with me on a Monday. I think I've been doing this every day. I still have a whole pile of mics to do too. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 MXLs I've got to get to. One of them, the guy got it on eBay and it was thrashed. It didn't have screens. Someone took the ribbon out, which is not a big deal. I actually went into my, where's it at? I have these. Let me show you. I have some copper grill screen that I'm gonna put back in it, so that'll probably be a little bit more quieter. But when he bought it, someone just completely thrashed it, and I said, "Yeah, just send it to me, man. I'll figure it out." And I'm gonna make it work. Oh, shit, my crazy glue just fell. Well, one thing I will say, that was a one and done. So I technically have 3 ribbons left. That being said, that means I have 3 attempts on the next mic. If I go through all 3 of those ribbons, I will have to go back into my stash and cut at least 6 or 7. And I've been lucky. The last few times, I think I did 2 the last mic. This is 1, which is one and done on a Coles. That's a good day. As they say in that hip-hop song, it's a good day. I don't want to get, like, copywritten here or something because I mentioned something. Who knows the way things work now? Okay. That is beautiful. That is a Coles 4038. Fully redone. Oh my God. And then, like your worst nightmare, here's another one. Jesus. And then I have a third one next to me, but that is not going to happen today. So this one I'm going to put back into its carrier case. Thank you, ribbon. All these mics I will have to test later, because if I test them and there's something I don't like about them, I will redo them again, which is okay. You have to test them. You have to make sure they're good. Still has to be shipped back east, which is already scary in itself, but I'm going to ensure these and my ribbon corrugation, even on this super thin ribbon, is pretty good. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do this one. Let me get one more drink. Hold on. Holy moly. We're at 107 minutes already. Man. So, if you're just peeking in, these are Coles 4038s, one of the most amazing, sought after, revered ribbon mics in the world. They actually have also the thinnest ribbons in the world in them. And they actually they're actually second and maybe being one of the fattest ribbons in the world, which is crazy. These are over 6 millimeters in thickness, and the thickness of the ribbon in microns is 0.6, which is close to air, and most ribbons of the world are 1.8 to 2.5. So you can imagine 0.6, it doesn't even fucking get to 1. And the Brits are like, oh yeah, let's just put that in this mic. Like, whose idea was that? That's a good idea. Do you think they'll last? Oh no. With their doctor's coats on, they're like, oh no. If someone is going to play loud, they're not going to put these mics on them. Yeah, that's what you thought, Ringo Starr, Jack White, everyone. So I haven't opened this one. This is the first time. Let's see what we got inside. Oh yeah, that one is completely thrashed. Totally thrashed. Now the guy had a question mark about this one. He was like, yeah, one is thrashed. This one is crazy. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a crease down the middle. Like, right there, all along the edge, there's a crease. It's flattened out, and only right here is a little bit of its, accordion type of corrugation. Flattened out, and it's definitely loose. So, now if I would have opened this up, and it would have looked cherry and good, I would have told the guy, like, hey, I'm going to test this mic before I re-ribbon it, because I want to make sure that I don't need to go in there and replace this ribbon if it's good. But there was a question mark on this one, and I will say that is probably 80% ruined. It's not usable, not worth going out into the world again. And whatever frequencies that you'll be enjoying, about 80% you will not be enjoying, because it will be wasted. So let's get into this one now. This is good to know. Not because it's necessarily more money for me. I just want, this guy's, I really respect him. I just want to make sure that he's happy. And if he trusts me with this, then I'll just say, yeah, dude, that other one was shot. You were all my witness. Come on now, back me up. Okay. So, oh yeah, look at that one. That's cool. Well, it's not cool, but you can see. You see that pattern? That grill kind of fence shape pattern? That is this. So that ribbon was so loose, it flattened out, lost all its corrugation, and now it's like a fingerprint of the screen. Now that's why they put them in, because it protects the ribbon from flying out of the motor, the transducer. But at the same time, continually using it and abusing it means that you lose your corrugation, and it looks like this. When I first looked into Kohl's, and I would look at pictures, almost all the pictures had the crisscross of this. So I was kind of, and this tells you that no one fucking posts shit about Kohl's. I thought, oh my God, how are you going to corrugate that, like, kind of like fence type corrugation? And come to find out, there in the bottom is normal corrugation. That's the way it should look. Now that it's fucked up and I understand what's happening, it's the screen that imprints that. And once again, just take a look at that. If you can see that, let me see if let me put a light on it. Hold on. Do you see that screen? That is just pretty much a fingerprint of the screen that was keeping it in. So yeah, that ribbon is wasted. So we are doing this one again. Oh shit. Well, I just had alcohol spill all over me, but that's not too bad. It's actually cool. I'm fucking burning up in here. All right, hold on. Let me get my little container back in use. Like I said, it's just alcohol. It's 99%. So believe me, like in a second, this is gonna be like done. I'll make sure it doesn't stick to my desk. Hold on. Are you stuck? Oh, yeah, you are. What the hell? Okay. So let's do this. Whew. Okay, I'm getting juiced up. Let's do it. Oh, give me 1 second. I've got a pickle in the fridge. I know that sounds gross. Let me eat this pickle real quick, and we're gonna get into this one. Thank you guys. Hold on a second. We're doing it. I'm not leaving you. Hold on now. I just gotta get something in my brain. Hold that thought. Fork in hand. Refrigerator open. Picking up a jar of Mount Olive kosher baby dills. Open up the jar. Baby dill in hand. Hold on. Wow. All right, just ate 2 baby dills. Sorry. We're like at, how many minutes are we? Put my glasses on. We are at 114 minutes. Jesus Christ. Isn't that like almost 2 hours I've been fucking talking shit, cussing, eating Mount Olive's fucking dill pickles? Pellegrino? Living life? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, rinse and repeat. I don't have to worry about that ribbon. We do need to get into the back. Once again, that darn bracket you saw last time, these are coming from the same place. It could happen again. Thanks, James. James said he has a coffee coming soon. I'm into it. Like I said, man. Hopefully there's something you can get out of this. If you can, pick up an MXL, which I have plenty of videos, and I just talked about this in the beginning of the video. That really does help me, and I love it because in the world, I just put out a ribbon mic that sounds as good as an $800, $900, $1,100, $1,200 ribbon mic you can buy for 99 bucks. And because you just saw me in the care I did in this, I do the same thing with that mic. The quality of the ribbon, and because I use a thicker ribbon, you can put on your Marshall cabinet. Put a pop filter in front of it, but I'm not afraid of it. Once I do a mic for you, and let's say you get the mic and instantly you go to plug it in and you had your phantom power and you blow the mic. I already know you. We've already communicated. It's 30 bucks. And I'll redo your ribbon. So if I do a ribbon for you, you take it home and you ruin it. If it's not done in shipping, because I'm insuring it, but yeah. So if you get a ribbon from me, not one of these, but like an MXL, an 80, Fathead, Cascade, CAD, Avatone, whatever you get, I'll definitely, once you've paid for the first time, I'll hook you up. Which means that if you blow it, don't worry about it. This is gonna be a nightmare for me. I just did it last time. It's gonna fucking drive me crazy. I gotta move this, even though it's for ground. Yeah, so this way, if you get the ribbons, you know you're covered. And even when I start my new company, I got your email. Just write me back. Manny, I blew it again. God, okay. 30 bucks in shipping, and I'll redo the ribbon again. So you can use it on drums, horns, guitars. And yeah, I know it's a little bit, but if Jack White sends his mics in to get them redone, you can send them back to me to get them redone. If you have a killer session and you want to use it on something, as long as you're not screaming into it, that'll probably blow it. Okay, so now I'm looking at the back. The ribbon looks really untensioned as well. Let me do these back bolts, which we already know we do it by hand. We don't use the actual ratchet. And these are the most, some of the most expensive ribbons. I know, you know, our RCA 44s are, you know, anywhere between $3,500 to $5,000. I know that. And, you know, people will say, well, that's a lot of money. But if you watch the way they make AEA mics, whether they have a new owner or not, they're fucking made pretty incredible. Same with like Coles and well, these ones, when they talk about like, what's a lot of money? Why is it so much? Why can't they make them cheaper? Because you wouldn't get all this. See that flew off right there? If I didn't have that screen there, that would have flown right into the ribbon. Well, that one doesn't matter, but if I do a new one, I'm gonna have to make sure that that is safety. So everything you see here is fucking crazy. I'm making my own microphone. I'm manufacturing it. To have this done like this, you know, my mic would be the same cost as this because it's crazy. It is so insane on how well, how consistent. Every screw I take off, it's always the same. The consistency is what you get out of a Coles, out of a Royer, out of an AEA, out of a Bayer 160, 130, 500, M88, 201, 388. You get them all. Um, but yeah, that's the difference. And when I talk about the MXLs, of course, those are Chinese mics. But what they have going for them is they're engineered fucking great. And I like the transformers. And then once I cut and put a ribbon that has 2 or 3 dB, maybe even 4 dBs more sound, and you have more articulation in the mids and the highs and the low end, now we're talking big boy microphones. And all I've done is take the care in the ribbon cutting department as they take care in their ribbon. So that's what separates the men's from the boys, or the girls from the ladies. The work on the ribbon, like Royer, they weigh them. So they cut them and they weigh them, and their tolerance of accepting a ribbon, if it's too much, they crumble it up or cut it off or get a new one. But their ribbons are actually weighed. And that's how they get their consistency of every ribbon. And then because they make their, Royer makes their mics in batches of 50, because if anywhere along the line, if these brackets, if there's an error in the manufacturing, or they go to put it all together and these are always coming off, if it was a Royer, that's what I meant, they can know that in the world there will only be 50 that have to be recalled, or 50 that'll have to be thrown away, or 50 that will have to be taken back. I like that idea of their quality control. And that's the same thing with Buyers. You know, Buyer 160s are fucking difficult to do because they have 2 ribbons that are so small. The ribbons are as thin as this screw, and you have to put 2 of them laying on top of each other. And they designed it that way. And they're killer mics. So, since I'm going to work on this side, I need to remove this screen since I don't care about that ribbon anymore. Let's move the little, our little thingamajigs out of the way. Our little schnizzles manizzles. All right, there you go. It's not coming out. There it goes. Okay. Once again, like the last one, we have a protect. This keeps it from grounding out. When this goes in the inside, this is positive, this is negative. You do not want this thing to connect them because you already have the ribbon doing that. And we don't want it touching the magnets, this touching the magnets. So we have a little paper here, but see, I can see the metal in there. So my feeling is I'm going to have to put another paper there, if you can remind me, just to make sure that it looks like that. Because I can see right here, it's kind of faded and it's almost doing nothing anymore. And I do not want those to touch. So this one has the buffer that goes against this metal. It's not touching. And then that one has the buffer built into it. But I'm not, this bracket is not being removed. It's permanent. So I need to go back when I do this one to make sure. So this will be the bottom. Put that one far away. This is the top. And now we can work on it. Let's put this back. Not ruin our little bracket love here. Make sure our brackets are good. Stay, please stay. I got people watching me. Let's see here. Let's see, Absurdus. Would love to watch you, Ruben. Okay, and then he says, I love my, yeah, R22s are great. Here's the thing. That's a Royers, I'm assuming. Is that correct, Absurdus? The R122s? Is that the mono or stereo one? I'm not hip to, I've never owned a Royer, but I love all the people. And Royer, I have a Mojave MA37 that Royer actually built. That is one of my favorite mics. So, is that a stereo or is that mono one? If you're still there, you hear me? can hold it up to the light, you can see if your ribbon's hanging in there like a hammock. If it's like this one's really loose, like that's, see, it just blew out. It's already fucked. If you look at your royer up to the light and you can see it bowing or anywhere in the distorted, that needs to be redone again. People think that those are indestructible. They're not, but they're made really well. Some of the finest ribbon making are in royers, but they are mortal. They're not immortal, and they will blow. So check it out. Look at it in the light. Now you can send those back to royer. I don't know what the conditions are, but also my corrugation is pretty fucking good, and I will say it may even sound better, possibly. I'm not gonna get sued. I love royer. I'm talking really nice about them, but I definitely have done a few of them that have sounded better after I've gotten them. And but that says nothing. Maybe my corrugation has a little bit more mids and top end than theirs. I'm not sure. They have their own corrugating machines. They take it very serious, and they have a patent on their actual mic. But my thing is, like, I've seen a lot of those and they're wasted inside because they're used obviously heavy. Check yours out. Okay, now that I remove the bolt on the other side for these two, which are right here, I can unscrew these now to get the ribbon out. Now you just saw me, it tore right there, so obviously this is one gust of wind away from being thrashed. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So now I can take these out. Let's see. The 122 is sort of like an active 121. Okay. If you look at that, people say they sound pretty similar to the 121, but now if it's active, what you're really getting out of that is just your preamps are gonna like it better. I have needs and APIs that don't, being active or not, it's not that big of a deal. But for people that have UAs and computer systems that don't have preamps and they just want to plug right into the computer, it's a little bit of a nightmare if you don't have anything. That's why I think cloud lifters have become so popular. Now, I've never worried about one on my SM7s because I just have a Neve and it has like 90 dBs of headroom. But if you put an SM7 into your DAW, you have to crank it, it gets noisy. So, yeah, being active or not in ribbons is kind of a cool thing because it can really help you if you don't have that situation. I have personally, I had N22s for a long time. These will be the short screws. And hold on a second, I want to make sure I don't separate these. I have 4 of the, I have my little thing back here, hold on. I'm just talking to myself. I have 4 screws I've got to keep away from my pool. All right, so these 2 I'm going to remove. These are shorter ones. And then royers have a patent. The ribbons are actually purposely pushed more forward than back. And that's why you have instruments that use it on the front of the mic. And if someone's singing, they use the rear of the mic. I think because they push it forward, when you hit it with high sound pressure, the ribbon is forced to be in the optimum part of the ribbon, which is the center. And I think that's the little ticket about them of why people like them. So I always see that on the top one, so I'm assuming that is the top one. Okay, let's do the bottom. I've already removed the bolts in this one, so where's my little hold on, I lost my there it is. Hold on a second. I think my little oh, it's on the mic for the other one. Hold on. Huh. My little razor blades. Hold on, is it right in front of me? There it is. It's hidden. Okay. We're really going for this. My God, these are like Manny marathons, man. I should just label it Manny Marathon. If you got to take a poop or you're, you know, You're waiting at the DMV, put on some earbuds, and you could fucking hang out with me. Sad. No. Okay, so let's see here. We're gonna undo these screws. Now, yeah, I'm gonna have to clean that. There's definitely, but it kind of disintegrated, and I can kind of see where maybe there was another, like someone had like re-ribboned it, and there's some, like it looks like it kind of fell in, and it's still there. So let me remove that. That is not a good thing. So James, thanks for piping in about that. The Absurdist, what is your name? Can you share it? Is your name Smokey? Tyler? I'll make a guess. Your name is Chris. You look like a Chris. No. You are Tom. Nope. Jose? Now he's gonna not follow me because I've blown his cover. He's Jose. Jose the Absurdist. Sorry. These are fucking long screws. I don't want to. I really baby these screws because I do not know if someone had this and it fell and it cracked. This is the one that had a dent on it, and these are the first things that are gonna break because it falls right on the head. I just want to make sure that these are okay. It doesn't seem like it's crooked or damaged. Now, if this mic was smashed on the front end, it may not be a job for me. There's guys that can rebuild these on the East Coast, and you could probably even, if it was really damaged bad, you could send it to AEA, and then you'd probably have to wait 3 months because they would have to send it somewhere else. I don't know who they source out to. I vaguely remember there was someone up north, but north like Seattle or Portland or someone like that, maybe Sacramento, that handles all their mics. So there's some guy that's like just getting piles and piles of coals in. He's good at it. I'm sure he is. He has to be, because he does it every day. And I think when you do it more and more and more, you know, iron sharpens iron. Is that what it? Iron sharpens steel. Oh shit! I came off with it. There you go. If you can see that. Yeah, that's really good. You can see the screen. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. That is what happens to Kohl's. So if you get, like when people say, oh, I got a vintage Kohl's, man, original ribbons, fuck that shit. Get them changed. You don't want a 1950s, 60s mic with a Kohl's would probably going to be wasted. If you change the ribbon in it, I guarantee you, you're going to be happy. Because when I check these mics before and after, okay, so that's good. There's another ribbon to look at. Is it going to come off? There it goes. So that is a Kohl's ribbon. And tell you how light it is. Look at that. I'm not installing. I'm going to put them back to the graveyard of Kohl's ribbons. Let's put that by that one. All right, now we're left with the real deal here. I talked a good talk. I told everybody I'm good. Maybe I'm talking shit. But if you sat around for 134 fucking hours or minutes, you know I can do it. But can I do it? That's the question. Will I do it? Now I record bands. I'm a producer. And I really love doing that. Producing bands, I hope that band gives me the okay because they're super sick. There is some enjoyment. Like wherever I've moved my studio, I think I get better and better at engineering. And I think it's one of those things you don't really rest on your laurels. Like you have to strive to get better. And that helps me here too. Because when I do these 2 in a row, it's like touring. The reason bands tour like weird places in the United States and then they come to the big cities at the end, because by then they're fucking fine-tuned. They worked out all the kinks. They're good. Let me get this off on. And there's no issues. Like they worked it out. They fired the roadies that are just banging chicks and not working, or getting drunk, or being on drugs. They figured it out. We're getting rid of Sonny. Sonny's a problem. And then let me get all this stuff off. I really got to clean this up. And then by the time they play the Palladium or LA or the Forum or whatever they're doing that they're kicking ass, they got it. They perfected it. And I think that ribbon, and I made the analogy of like a practicing physician. This guy's practicing on you. He's looking at a book and says, well, the book says if I do this to this person, he's going to be fine. Oh, shit, didn't do it. Guess gotta get back to the drawing board. I'm a practicing physician. I'm practicing law. Yeah, I lost the case, but hey, we'll get it. I think I saw what we made our mistake in. The next time we're gonna, appeal this and we'll have it. I figured. So it's practicing law, practicing physician. Why isn't there like practicing plumber or practicing law enforcement? Like everything that is so fucking final, but the things that are the most serious are practicing. So I look at this the same way. I'm practicing a ribbon technician. I'm just practicing. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this shit off. There's a lot of little pieces of foil here. I need to have that clean. It is embedded there. Wow. Anyways, I sound like I know shit. I don't know anything, man. Tomato, tomato. Everybody has their own opinions. I tell you this much, man. I'm happy to wake up every day with my alarm. I wake up at 6 every day regardless. I get my coffee. Start thinking about what I'm going to do today. I have a tall order of a lot of things to do in the studio. I've definitely got to clean it up and get set up for tracking drums. But for me to come in after lunch and then be like, I'm going to kick ass today and I'm going to do not only one cold but two, it's kind of exciting, man. And I have the opportunity to work on coals. I can't afford coals. I don't have a pair of coals. I did. I had one. But I hooked my homie up with it. He needed it. So I sat, but I always have ribbons. So I'm not like gonna be bummed I don't have ribbons. So this looks pretty clean. I just want to, and I actually one more cleaning. I just gotta make sure that the inside of here, because these are magnets, everything is screaming into it. And I just removed all the screens. So I just don't want anything to take a chance of getting in the way. So I think I started this mic with 4 ribbons. You just saw me get 1 and done, so that means I have 3. So I have 3 attempts to do this, and I told myself whenever I do a Coles, I'm going to cut 7 ribbons just in case. So let's see. Let me find my ribbon container. It is safely here. Don't look at it because the ribbons are going to get thrashed. Just by staring at these, they're like, fuck you. We're going to fuck up. And like I said, when I told everybody earlier, I put that in there so carefully, and then it got ruined there, and it got ruined there. So that section is no good. All my ribbons have to be cut here, and as you can tell, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 out of this one. And these are 1, 2, 3 in here that I'm going to use. So I have 3 attempts to get this mic together, and if I don't, you guys are wonderful because you sat through already one with me. And that's another thing. Maybe I don't think I've seen anybody ever online do a marathon of 2 Coles. Now there is a guy in Nashville. I don't want to get him excited because if he got online, he probably has 10 Coles. He's gonna smoke me because he's that guy. He's that good. I love Coles. His name is actually Coles, and he does Coles. He's in Nashville. He's my favorite fucking dude that does this. I have so much respect for him. But when Coles tells me, Manny, you're talking some shit about your 3, I did 3 Coles. That guy probably has 10. And if he did a marathon of 10, it'd be like, wah, 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 wah. Oh yeah, Manny, that guy just smoked you. But he's so sweet. I don't think he would do that, but if he did, I would watch it because then I would want to see how he does his coals. Okay, so this is where it gets a little tricky. I'm not even like, you're gonna see me off camera just because I'm tripping balls trying to get. Um, I don't fucking like that one. Hold on. I have to look at the ribbons and I have to. It's just weird. I don't even know what that. I don't even know why it has to be that way. If I look at it and I don't like it, I can't put it in. I just looked at this one. I'm like, that's just not. I'm not feeling it. Hold on. To me, put me in the fucking coals. All right, I have 2 chances after this. So what I'm doing now is that I've realized, because you saw me, the ribbons were fucked up by just looking at them and trying to install them. I'm trying to install these ribbons at the last possible moment so they're not laying around, they're not on anything, they can't get snagged, or I'm talking and they blow on the floor. So I have to release these from its paper, and that is already in itself nerve-wracking. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. And I think a week ago I went to release them. I only had one. It was right when I got into it, and I was a little bit arrogant that I'd get one and done. And the one that I cut, I fucking thrashed it. Paper from it, and it kind of went like, oh, guess what? Fuck you. It just shredded. Okay, hold on now. So we need a new Q-tip. I've already put alcohol in this. This Q-tip is thrashed. I was cleaning with it. Let's throw it away. Last time I grabbed a used one accidentally, and it almost ruined the ribbon mic, so I don't want to do that again. So I'm gonna. Trying to get this ribbon up. It's not coming up. Come on. Come on, I have people watching. Oh, I still got the paper on the bottom. Son of a bitch. Hold on. I thought I was going to be able to install it. I forgot. When I took off the top paper, I thought the bottom paper slipped out. It didn't. They shoots if it's good. And I'm saying shoots because it's not good right now. Hold on. Cooperating. Like I said, even getting it off its paper can ruin it. Whew, Nelly. Okay, so how do I want to install this? Okay, I got it already. So now I have to put the alcohol back on it because it already fucking dried up. Sorry about the F-bombs. I know I'll try to get back. Let's see if I can not say the F word before we're done here. I gotta exchange it with Whoa Nelly, Hoochie Poochie. Wet. Now let's install this properly, efficiently. Or I'll have to put in another one. Oh, fuck, I don't like the way I picked it up, but fuck it. Ah, shit, I knew it. See? I always know that shit. Holy cows. Shit. Really? Come on. Holy fucking cows. Oh. The F word. God damn it. I don't like that at all. I'm a bitch. To it. Bitch. This ribbon. To looking right now. Going down on the lip of the bottom of the clamp. I don't like that. I'm starting to distort a little bit. Don't give up on me yet, son of a bitch. When I get done with the top. So that's it. Holy fucking cow. I thought it was going to tear right there. Jesus. Once again, it's not a beauty contest. It needs to just be right tensioned. Clamp. I do have a little bit of time to do the bottom. I just don't know if this one's going to I just have to make sure that one's secure in. Holy smokes. At the screen, so that one has the marks on it. It always has the marks on it. Let me see if that's the one. Yeah. That little mark tells me it's that one. There's always like one or two marks. I don't know what that is. Oh, there's two. Yeah, so see those two little marks? That's right there. The small screws. Two long ones right here. Two screws that aren't the four. Those are the four. These are the two. The one, where are you hiding? Where are you hiding, motherfucker? Oh, damn, that's three. Three F words, F bombs already. I don't know if I missed one, but I think that's three now. Oh, fuck, come on, don't fuck with me now. Yep, I just did it again. And ribbon looks under this bracket. I need to. Don't stick to this. I think I'm ruining it. Some Evel Knievel shit right there. Oh my god. I'm like fucking tripping balls right now. And then when I went to pull it up, the ribbon had stuck to the bottom. But the reason I was taking the bracket off initially, I saw the ribbon that had slipped out of place. But when I put the glue down, the alcohol down again, when I went to set it down, the ribbon grabbed the alcohol, retensioned. And then so when I put the bracket down, it was back to where I wanted it. So even though I took the bracket off, not the way I wanted to do it, the ribbon gods had looked kindly on me right there. But the ribbon gods aren't done with me yet. I still got one more bracket to do, and I still have to flip this over. I'm going to tighten this because, fuck it. If this ribbon now distorts at this point, I will have to replace it. It's too much things that are happening to it that I'm going to feel right now. I'm okay. I need to do this again, and this is a problem right now because I've already been working that a lot, and I don't want that part to get fucked up. Oh, I did it again. God, that's 5. Shoots. Holy cows, Batman. Keep it under control. There's no kids here, but still. Oh, fuck. Did it again. I just said it was 6. Shit. There it is. That's 7. Bottom. Lip on the bottom of the bracket. I need to pull it tighter. Up a hair. Oh, fuck. It's 9? Eyes. I whispered it. That counts. Because I know I did it. I need to look at this. Not from an angle. Holy cows. No. God, it's like creeping down one side. Oh, bitch. I can't hang over that lip. I almost said it. Son of a gun. Okay. That feels good in its tension. A lot of problems on that bracket. Because it's so thin, even though it looks a little messy right there, it's gonna fucking work. But I had to make sure that first lip, it had a line that it drops, so as it moves around, if that's crooked anywhere there or on the top, it's not gonna work. It's gonna rip. Okay, I'm not out of it yet. And like I said, if I put this on my schnizzles and my nizzles and listen to it to my ATCs, if it doesn't sound good, because I have that other one to compare it to, I will get back in and do this one again. So mental note. I compare all three of these. Whatever is not up to par will be redone again. That's just the way it goes. Flying into the ribbon. There. We're at 161 minutes right now. Give me a cup of coffee, man. Am I really doing this for... in the last few days of enduring my slow burn ribbon mayhem. In a sitting, if I can make it through this, I've never seen anybody do that. But like I said, my buddy Cole's in Nashville hears about this. That guy can smoke me because he can do 10 coals, and by the way, he'll do like 4 fucking 74s, and I said fuck again. As I said it again. Oh my god, I'm at like at 11 now. A badass. And that guy he's definitely one of the greatest cats to restore your old mics. What I'm doing is enthusiasm, but also hot rodding and making mics sound cool. He's the one where you've dropped your RCA and it's all banged up and the transducer's ripped out, and he has parts and things to help you out. So let's see this horn. I gotta look at this real quick. This ribbon's gonna work on this one. But let's follow it through. Can you blow on it a little bit? It comes into its shape. Okay, so we have the one with the plastic, I mean the guards on it. One, yeah, that's right. Yeah, this one is a question mark. I'm gonna go with it and I'll see. But for right now, like I said, sometimes it's not a beauty contest. I kind of feel like I'm like right down the middle. This could probably be the best sounding one, but for me right now, I'm gonna have to really. I know which one this one is. I'm gonna have to really listen to it, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna redo this one. Even though it was a one and done, it's not about that. It's about its sound. When this guy gets this has to sound killer. There's no messing around. And if you saw my last one, like I said, that little V shape is almost exactly what that is. And when the sound pressure of a drums or whatever hits it, it's forcing it down into this area. And that's that right there. So I'm just putting this on just to work on the backside. Actually, I don't need to do that. Wait, yeah, I do. No. Yeah. Do I? Sorry. It's been a long deal here. I'm cracking 100 and... Oh my god. Okay, so let's move this. You can say, I mean, this is a real session. Okay, okay, so that on, son of a gun. I don't want this to get ruined. forgot I had to put the screen on this one too. Ah. Okay, that one had that one, so that means this is the one. On that. Now I gotta put the bolts on it. Then I have to remove the front to see what I'm putting the bolts on. Well, everyone, if you stuck around that long, I'm actually pretty exhausted. That was a real... That was a brain journey. But I did it. I'd probably still be doing it. I don't know. Yeah, I'd be cussing. Drinking some Pellegrino still. That one's stuck to it. Hold on. I still would have been kind of hard on myself on these, the quality control of these. There's no messing around with this. Someone had sent this to me, and I need to make sure when I send it back to him that it is rocking. That always is the... That really is it. Doesn't matter about anything else that didn't go in. It did. It's a long screw, so tighten it just hand tight. I need to make sure on the other end, as I'm tightening that one, this one didn't, I almost stabbed it. This one didn't come loose. Good. Then I do this one. Make a mistake. I'm already like all fucking drunk on Pellegrino. Okay. Brackets, I gotta make sure these brackets properly go on it. Let's put this one back on it. Make sure I got the screens on it. Everything looks proper. All the grounding looks good. Now, putting this last part together. That looks good, yeah. We saw the little clamps, the brackets go. I have to make sure all these wires have to be tucked in that little area. So I just kind of get them and round them up the best I can. Like, see one straggly one right there. Don't do it, dude. Come on, just get. Okay. Does that feel good? Let me see. That's right. Wait. Here, that's cracked. That thing is cracked right there. It's just plastic anyways, but which is good. But this isn't good. That's not the flat part. Yeah, it is flat. No, that's why. There's something to stop. There it goes. Okay. Oh, I said that for it again. Bitch. Good. Are we good? Okay, we're good. Okay. Put the little plastic bracket on. Good. That's good. All right. Let's get the next one. Broken plastic. Let's put it there. That'll be fine. screws back in. Being a trooper. It's kind of cool. I feel like we had to get together. Like, let's meet up at Manny's. What's he doing? Are you even asking what he's doing? Is there going to be any tacos or carne asada there? Nope, he ate it all. How about any hamburgers? He ate it all. Tamales? Tamales are possible, but they closed at 3 o'clock. Son of a gun. What? Okay, there's fish tacos around here that are really, really good. But let's say you're like, Manny, I don't eat meat. Well, we can go to L&B's and get some bean and cheese. Did they cook it in lard? Okay, we're not going to L&B's then. How about CVS, and we'll get you some, an apple. Yeah, that sounds good. There it is. We've solved the problem. I realize I'm using my left hand, which is not good. I want to use my right. Why am I using my left? Why am I doing this? Why it's all crooked? Oh my God, fatigue alert, fatigue alert. Mr. Robinson, fatigue alert. Let me get my right screwdriver. I have screwdrivers that I use that I like. See, I'm already doing it wrong. Put this down, hold it down, and then properly use both hands as it comes up. And all this crazy shit. Getting these last 4 screws, and you're like, ooh, I don't know how to use a screwdriver, and it's all coming apart on me live. Let's just do this, okay? We know how to do this. You just did it, Manny, a few minutes ago. Who are you trying to fool here that you don't know how to do this? See what I mean? I don't like the way that one looks, but... Wrong screwdriver. Holy cows, and you got it backwards. Come on. Get it together, man. Get it together. You're live on YouTube. Let's start on this side. This side was seeming a little bit more friendly to me. Yeah. Thank you. Started on the wrong side. We are good? We're good again. Take a shower after this. I'm completely now drenched because I turned off the AC. My Pellegrino is probably been sitting out for 2 hours. It's not even cold. And, oh man, okay. See what I mean? This is the point where I'm just like, it's a lot. And I'm almost on a mission. Like, I can't just say, hey, everyone, you know I can put this together and bail out. It's now become like a true test of endurance. Like, I'm not even like, oh my God, the screw came out right there. Hold on. Yeah, it's not, now it's just a point of just getting to the finish line. You know those races where like the guy's almost at the line, he starts cramping up and his buddy has to carry him over the line. Can someone carry me over the line? Someone get me a coffee or a Pellegrino. Someone make it me go like, holy fuck, I did it again. Son of a bitch. I'm gonna do it, everyone. Get in. Okay, that's good. Did it. Okay, that's one. And I'll put this because these are gonna slam together. 2 coals 4038s in one sitting, re-ribboned, open up and done. Like I said, for my friend Cole's back in the East Coast, just let me enjoy this for a little bit before you smoke me with doing 10 in a row. But for me, it's a passion, it's a love. I love doing this. Even though I'm complaining and I've said a bunch of F-bombs, when I think about spending 2 hours of the day, and I know this is, I don't do this out of work, I do this out of love. And I think that's the difference, man. For sure. You know what? YouTube's weird like that. Sorry, man. Thank you. Thank you, dude, for trying to get me one. Sometimes it doesn't have the thank you until it gets uploaded. People have done it before, like yesterday and the day before, but just wait a little bit. When it becomes uploaded fully to YouTube, maybe even tomorrow, I think you can do it. But for the most, man, thank you so much. Regardless, man, I'm okay. I still got a little bit of warm Pellegrino. Let me get a drink. But thank you. I appreciate that. Huddle Studio, props. That was damn good. So, I have a bunch of R144s coming up. I have one, two, three, four, five. I have five. I've done a lot of video on those. I'll try to get maybe tomorrow I'll do another one. But I mean, I'm not even doing this to be Rampage style. I have my studio being rebuilt this year. Really put me out for about 5 months. And in those 5 months, people are really patient. I really want to try to get these turned around. Like these just came in a few days ago. I want to get these done and turn them back around. Everybody that's hit me up about the MXL, the R144s, I want to get them back to you. And just get it in a way where I would never even come up online and say, hey, you know, get these things unless I'm really, really, really down. I'm super psyched to do them. And I'm actually, you know, it's not necessarily about the money. I just can't wait. I mean, I get so many nice messages of people, you know, saying, hey, man, I'm using your mics. And they send me pictures and they got them on drum sets. And there's one guy that for a long time, I think he lived in Canada. He used to buy my mics. And then like now he's like touring. And, you know, I met up with another cat in LA. He sent me some mics and he's like, hey, man, I'm going to be in LA. Can you meet me? And he had like a really big show downtown. And it's just really cool that these are the guys and the people that I've met and having the experience. Even like Shannon, man, he's always piping in here. Like, I feel like I know him already. I haven't met him. I don't know him. And I've done his mics and he's already gotten his MXLs. And he's just fucking cool. Cooler than fuck. So yeah, I am blessed and humbled that I've ended up meeting a lot of people by doing these ribbons. So it's a little bit of an experience for me. You know, I'm hanging out with you guys. I'm trying to answer your questions. And when I was trying to do this, dude, there was no one to answer. Actually, I take it back. There was about 3 people in the U.S. that I could call that were the best. One ended up being a total douchebag. One ended up being fucking golden. And then one, I just haven't talked to too much because the one that's golden has been really, really kind and forthcoming with things. And when you see me do these mics, I'm trying my best to show you how it's done, and not to scare you away or say like, oh, I've got superpowers, and you know, you can. I'm just saying like, hey, man, it's really difficult. It's a lot of patience. I probably have already spent about $1,000, $2,000 just in weird tools and things you would not want to get. I spend thousands, no, maybe about, well, maybe $1,000 at least on foils, and you know, it's like, why? Oh, because I love it. You know, my wife was joking about it because she remembers when I had regular Reynolds wrap and I was trying to design my own ribbon that would go into 160s. So I made my first ribbon. I bought all these tools and made all these custom parts and I just designed the ribbon. I didn't even have the mic. I didn't even have a 160. I didn't even know the dimensions of the 160 transducer, except I had went out and I bought one of these from Home Depot. And then I looked up online and there was a totally wrecked 160 in Craigslist. And I said, all right, we're really going to do this, huh? I paid fucking $300 for it. I was like, oh shit. And it's ruined. It doesn't work. And then I put my 160 ribbons in it, and it sounded fucking amazing. And then I compared it to other 160s, and it smoked them all. So I know I did something good. Let's see. When is your mic coming? You know what? I wish I can show it to you. It's right next to me right now. It's so fucking insane good. We had gotten quotes from some manufacturers, and we're going with one that's gonna get. We're getting it all made in Southern California, and flathead screws are son of a bitch. We're getting it made in Southern California, which is insane in itself. I wish I can say it's not made in China, but the magnets may have to be sourced out to China. If we can find the dimension of the magnets made in the USA, that would be sick, because all of it would be made here in California, most of it manufactured by us and then some other companies. I think it's going to be about 4 companies that are all going to come together to make the mic. I'm obviously ribboning them all. And I can tell you that it's going to be as sick as a BK5, and it's going to sound a little bit better, maybe low end and a little bit. It's going to be kind of used. Like I wanted to make a guitar mic. And as far as the price, man, holy smokes, man. Like my life, whatever I have, I mean, even this, if you guys want to get some MXLs, it's really all going towards the mic. It's really expensive. I have 4 partners. It's a lot of money for us to get 10 prototypes, and then we found out that we can only get 3, and that's before we go into manufacturing it. So we're gonna get 3 prototypes. I'm gonna send them to one for me, one to one of my partners that has an amazing studio in Hawaii. He's gonna check it, and then I'm gonna send it back east to a buddy and have him just close to dropping it. Like, I really want you to find out any shortcomings of this mic. And even shipping it to these 2 different places will tell us a lot. Let's see, Tyler Snow. Yeah, flatheads. My God, dude, flatheads. We're talking punching a wall. So, yeah, see what I did? See that? I just screwed it in. It's supposed to be there. That is not good. See, while I'm talking, I knew there was something off. I'm like, why? What? Yeah, that is supposed to be a little bit, that is supposed to be over that lip. I do not want that. Oh, back, rinse and repeat. But yeah, I can just tell you that I know I'm going to say this and it may not make any sense right now, but for us and whoever, it looks like there's maybe 7 people here. My ribbon mic will be one of the first mics in the world made this way, whatever that is. And I guarantee you, when I premiere it at either NAMM or AES, I'm going to get fucking ripped off. So the only thing I'll claim to say is that when you see it, you'll be like, holy shit. And then sooner than later, you're going to start seeing it all over with boutique mics. And it's okay. But I will say that I'll be the first one to do that. And it's a really super unique, cool design. And has a lot to do with the mic. So that's what I can give you a sneak peek now. But you know, when we get it, we're getting it patent pending and all that shit. When it gets to the point where I can safely show it, if you can add me here, make sure you save me as a follower or whatever they do it, subscribe to me. I'm definitely, when I get permission and we're clear, I'm gonna, hey, I just got your, M. Johnson, it looks like my email just showed up and said you have an email, so thank you. He's actually working on his own ribbon mic, designing it, M. Johnson. Maybe you guys can add him and we can watch him as he makes his prototype. So let me see what's going on here. That needs to go in that hook. It's not filling. This is the one that dropped. There it goes. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. When you saw it last time and there was a hole there, it can't be that way. So now these are lined up good. Good. That feels good. Hold on. Believe that? Holy cows. Okay. I'm going to check your email, Mr. Johnson, and I'll hit you back. Give me a moment. After this, I'm going to head home to eat. I'm completely exhausted in my wits and my brains. Even me putting these last screws, I'm just like, duh, what? Huh? What screwdriver? What am I doing? I know. I just did that as I'm talking shit about myself. Check out my videos, man. If you go back to my very first video for everyone here, you will hear my prototype, and it's so fucking good. I played guitar in it. And yeah, so that first prototype I made was enough for me to go like, oh my God, you really made a mic. But as I went over my design, I didn't know. See what I did? I screwed that in without putting that in. That's what I'm talking about. Oh my God, thank God I'm not doing the ribbon right now. When I first did that mic and I plugged it in, I was like, oh my God. So I did some records. I have my own band, the Chavez Ravine, and we cut some songs and I used it. I was really, really thrilled. But my guitar tone is kind of like Jimmy Page. I played through a small amp. Everything you hear, like when you see Chavez Ravine, I have the amp behind me, behind a pillow, and you can't even hear it. It's not loud at all, but that's my sound. So when I designed that ribbon, everything lit up perfect. The sound pressure, how it sounded, so like I said, check out go all the way back in history to my first video, and you'll see me. I think I demoed I had all these mics around my prototype. I had a 56, 57. I may have had a Buyer 160, and then I had my mic. And I think my mic was pretty fucking good. So then after I designed my mic, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm like totally full of myself. I said, I had a session and I'm like, oh, I'll just put on this Marshall. But what I didn't know at the time is like, even when you see me, how these Coles microphones have the sound kind of like headed towards the right areas, like you gotta have, I didn't know anything about why do Royer's mic take high sound pressure, ribbon corrugation, no clue. I just made this mic that looked like a fucking dog's head and it was so cool. But when I put it up on a Marshall, the sound went all through the microphone, through its cavity. It sounded terrible. The ribbon didn't blow. But because I didn't really seal there was no sound chamber, there was nothing. The mic became like a big, empty, it didn't sound hollow. It didn't sound good. So, and when then I put it on low volume, it was fucking amazing. So I knew I did something right. So, and one of the reasons is the head was made out of 2 parts from Home Depot. I just found these 2 brackets that you would hold 2x4s, and I put them together, and that made the body, and then I painted it like a dog's head. But the main work of the transducer was sick. It was like 30 parts I had screwed together to make this transducer out of plain. I went to this place in Hollywood and I got these parts that were for planes, projectors, movies. That's where I got my cogs from. They were from some kind of projector or some kind of, it was not meant for ribbons. And so that was the good thing out of that session. I got my bunch of cogs, and I have I haven't built them. I have some I'm just excited to use. But yeah, I found out really quick that my stuff didn't last. So then I realized, okay, and this brings us to us right here. Because I already got my guys together they were like blown away, like this is gonna be dope. And then I realized, you know what? I always use the analogy. It's like a guy saying he wants to build a Formula One race, but the guy's not going to fucking win any races. He's not going to go to Le Mans for Formula One. Even when I mentioned about a go-kart expert, if I want to build a go-kart, you better fucking win some go-kart races. You know what I mean? If you're going to do motocross, build a motorcycle, you better win some fucking motocross races. So I decided to dive into ribbon mics. And now I'm at maybe 4 years, more or less. I don't know. Hundreds of mics I've done. And I went on the challenging myself of working on some of the hardest ribbons. And those ribbons inside this of 0.6 are goddamn motherfuckers to work with. And I actually abandoned the idea about a year and a half ago to work on these because I started to work on them and I just ruined so many sheets of the foil. And I just convinced this is not going to work out. I'll do every other mic except that. But then I thought to myself, why would you tell people that you're really good at what you do and you cannot even do a Coles? And there's people all over the US and people all over Europe that can do them. How can you say that you're an expert in ribbon mics? Or at least you've learned the ropes about ribbon mics. So that brought me to these. Now I just did 2 in a day. I will check them. If they're not right, I will redo them again. Not a big deal. But I care. And Bio 160s and these mics. And I will say some of the Toshiba, which look like 77s, some of the Japanese ribbon mics, those are a son of a bitch to work on, man. You have to solder like the foil on. It's insane. Like even a 74B I had one time that the brackets were soldered, the cables were soldered onto the brackets. You needed to lay the ribbon in. You have solder joints here. You have to put the brackets in. You have to solder, and I realized I had to solder the bracket once the ribbons were in to make it so anyways, yeah, microphones are really difficult. But you get into the world of guys that build tube mics and they're smoking me. I mean, the stuff they do and the tolerances of the capsules, and if you especially think you're going to make a brass capsule, there's so many things that have to do with getting it machined, the thickness. Once you've cut it and you drill all the holes, you got to bake them and cook them because the tension that has been baked into the metal, you need to relax it. All that stuff has to do with some of the ribbon work I do. Like if I don't untension the aluminum and I put it into a mic, it gets wasted really quick. So you have to untension them. So even in all aspects of microphones. And also, we're at 193 minutes. Oh my God, I am so sorry, everyone. You got me going again. I got excited about ribbons. Listen, enjoy your night. Mr. Johnson, thank you for sending me that email. I just saw it. I will check out your microphone and I'll be writing you back. Do me a favor, if you guys have it in your heart to get an R144, write me on an email. I'll connect you. You can get one. I recommend two. If you don't have a lot of dough, buy them, send them to me, and maybe after I repair them, you can work out something with me in the next week or so if you don't have the dough to do it. I would feel really happy if I can get more people those mics because soon I will stop doing them. And I do think that those are the greatest, like, what do they call it? Like a donor body? It's kind of like, what was that movie where they used to have the pods go into people? And they were like, if they go to sleep, the pods would take them over and they become aliens. It's like you send me the mics, I make them into aliens and send them back to you. All right, everyone. Talk to you later. I don't know if I'll be live tomorrow, but if I am, I'll be doing MXLs, or I'll be doing a mic review, or this week for sure, I'm gonna do a bunch of rad mics that I have that are of importance to this year. And maybe options. I already did one a few weeks ago if you saw it, super killer, but I'm going to do the other batch of mics I have. I think you're going to really dig it. Thank you all.